watching a master at work.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
That's an offensive foul if you watch anything else but Tell It Like It Is. UPTV Channel 6. We're back a little later than usual. We were preempted by some governmental business. Yeah.
Let's go.
So, the government supersedes what we do around here, but thanks for joining us on a Friday night. I'm sitting here in my referee shirt because, like I said, we're going to keep it clean tonight. And the reason why we're going to keep it clean is I got my man back. What up? The one and only Bun Dog. What's going on?
Hey, ain't a referee shirt. He just got Foot Locker. He just sold some shoes.
I got a promotion.
Oh, you're the manager?
Assistant manager.
Oh, you get a 10% discount?
No, well, not yet. They didn't give me a key yet. You know how the screen that you pull down at the mall?
Yeah.
I ain't got the key to that yet.
Oh, you working on it?
Well, I might be there one day.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, and look what I wore too. I put the whole outfit on.
Look at him.
Can they see it?
He's shining.
They shine. I got my
patent leather.
Yeah. Church
Stacey
shoes.
Adams.
Stacey Adams church shoes on. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Tell It Like It Is, UPTV Channel 6. Stat Girl, I know it's late. You got stuff cooking at home. You late dinner tonight?
Yeah, wait, show us the hand.
Right. See that hand? That hand that Stat Girl just showed you, that was from last week when we gave her the 10 call minimum and she didn't make it. We did her like the old Kung Fu episode.
Yeah. Show me your hand.
She had to grab a hot phone. So that was her punishment. So tonight, I know it's late night. Hopefully the word got out through town that we were on late. We've dropped it down to a 5 call minimum for Stat Girl. So if she gets 5 calls at
we chopping hands off now.
Wait, what's the phone number though?
What is the phone number? Can you tell us, Stat Girl?
It came on the screen. I got people in town asking me, Joe, what's the number? I think that's the new motto for the show. What's the number? 384-2452? 384-2452. I know it, and it's only been on the air 3 minutes. So give Stat Girl a call. Hit us. We're going to roll right into this thing. Bun Dog, did you bring your broom?
Did not tell you.
Wait a minute, let me get my head
Did
back.
not tell you the San Antonio Spurs. If we could get that tape and run it back, the San Antonio Spurs are going to be world champions.
You were right.
When Cleveland beat Detroit, the man at the NBA office in New York City said there was engraving the San Antonio Spurs.
So what you're saying is that right above the Miami Heat on that trophy.
Oh, yeah.
2007 San.
David Stern continued that, but he told the guy he called, he said, look, engraved guy, I don't know his name, he engraved guy.
Bill.
Start
engraved
that
guy.
process. So after the first game was the SA.
Game
the second
2.
game, they put San.
After game 3?
Antonio. Game 4, all you had to do was put the Spurs.
And shine it up. Ship it on out. Yep, San Antonio, NBA champs. Wow. That's all. I'm wow with you.
Hey, great NBA season. Kudos for Darren Williams, D. Brown, all the former Illini that played in the NBA this year.
Yep.
And good luck next year.
Yeah, but right now to the victors go the spoils, and Antonio Spurs are the victors. Tony Parker is your series MVP, and he deserved it.
Oh, yeah, he deserved it.
Now
he could plan on his wedding, 7-7-07.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I think, Larry Hughes went out with, what they call it, plantar fasciitis. That's called my foot hurt because he running too fast, mama.
Hey, I'm telling you, that guy, and he was such a gentleman at halftime. He talks like a coach.
Right.
Oh, how many we scored? 34 points this quarter.
You from France too, ain't you?
Nah. French Quarters, probably.
French, Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky French. That's a new beverage they have down there.
Well, for as well as Tony Parker played for San Antonio, LeBron James.
Help, please. He need to put an ad up.
LeBron, we're going to have to take that
Help wanted.
we're going to take that crown off King James because San Antonio's help defense made you look like a court gesture. I mean, LeBron, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll say it again, I'll go on record saying this. When his career is done, he'll be one of the top 5 players of all time.
He will.
He's only 22 years old and got his team to the NBA Finals. But that was a true schooling of old school over new school.
It was.
As fast as LeBron can run and as high as he can jump, he couldn't do anything against them 5 veterans that they put out on that court.
You're right. But the good thing about it, he did have a son that was born yesterday.
Yep, right before Game 4.
Yep.
So there is
Another player had one too. That's the first time in the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah.
Another, I can't remember, one of the Spurs had a baby too.
Yeah. You know who?
Well, his wife did. He didn't.
Well, you know who's gonna be happy?
Eva.
The attorneys
Oh yeah.
who represent the wives, because we got some more leverage on this side.
You're right.
But enough about that court stuff. We ain't gonna talk about that till the end of the show. But like I said, LeBron. You know, everybody talked about Bruce Bowen and the matchup with Bowen against LeBron. It wasn't Bruce Bowen.
No.
It was who?
The Spurs.
San Antonio. LeBron's jumper.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Yes. Remember the Alamo. Remember that defense, because you won't see anything like that for a long time. That was true NBA team defense and team basketball that you got to see in the series.
You know, Joe, what really hurt him in Game 4 is, no, it's Game 3. It was shooting, it was what, 1 for 30 on the 3-point line. I mean, they kept putting them up.
Yeah, because, you know, the old saying, you shoot to get hot, you shoot to stay hot, you shoot to get hot again.
They don't work all the time.
The pilot light was out.
Yeah, and they was in there trying to light it. You know, you hold that button and light it, and you be like, let it go, and they're like, whoosh.
Do it again, do it again.
And it worked this time.
Do it again, do it again.
You better call the Maytag repairman.
That's it, because if they would have called him.
Help wanted.
Well, you know what? We got help wanted on these phone lines at 384-2452. Call and tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from, tell it like it is.
It's Tony LaRussa.
Coach LaRussa, what's going on, man?
Not much. Did you just ref a tournament at the U of I?
You know what, man? That was my cousin. That was Ray Ray. That was him running. That was him running out there. He just let me borrow his shirt.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
You were just checking to see.
Yeah. Cause I was wondering how you got home so fast.
You know, hey, it's just like that tube at the bank. I just got inside it, closed it up, and they shot me to the teller.
Hey, caller, he's one of the Fantastic Four. He's the other one that you didn't know about.
Oh, okay.
All right. Coach, I appreciate you calling, though.
All right.
Take care, man. You know, this town, you can't hide in this town.
Look what you got on.
Well, and he was there, though. You know, he right. I was refereeing, and I had ran straight from the drink. So let me just say this. I hope I'm not wafting over on your side of the table. You know, I tried to freshen up a little bit before I got here. But,
I hope so. I don't smell you yet.
yeah, well, there's some Tux pads I got on. Stat Girl, am I embarrassing you already? We've been on the air 9 minutes, and you already hanging your head. Come on, stay with me. Stay with me. Thank you. Now, the other thing, we talked about LeBron and how he got locked down. But what happened to the rest of the Cavaliers? Gauskas. What happened to him?
Who?
Iggy, the Z-Man, Zildrunas, whatever you want to call him. What happened to him?
What happened to, what was his name, Boogie?
Right. Boogie Gibson, Daniel. He did okay.
Yeah, one game he scored 28 points.
But you got to remember this. He's a second-round pick, rookie. You know, he did what he was supposed to do.
Great job.
Right. You know,
Hey, help wanted.
hold
It's
it.
a sign. It's a sign in the window.
Hold the sign up, and there's
Oh, man.
a lot of help needed in Cleveland. Now, here's my question for
Hey,
you.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
They need a little bit more. They needed Denzel and Jesus Shuttlesworth. My question for you and the listening audience out there, and you give us a hit at 384-2452. San Antonio Dynasty?
I would have to put them in that category.
I would have to put them in that category too.
Even though they didn't win it like the Bulls or the Lakers, but they won one in the 90s, and the rest of them they won in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to Robert Horry.
Robert Horry.
Got 7 of them.
7.
He has surpassed the great Michael Jordan.
Yes. Oh, a.k.a. Will Smith. The Fresh Prince of San Antonio now has 7 NBA championship rings. Now, you know, he started off his career in Houston.
The Rockets.
Won a couple there, and then he moved on to the Lakers.
Yes.
Got him 3 there. No, I got him 2 there.
Yep.
And now he's got him 3 with San Antonio. So kudos to Will Smith.
I hope he retired now. It's, you know,
Well, you know what he said last night after the game?
that's what he said.
One more. He want to get back to back. And the way San Antonio closed out the series against Cleveland, I think so. I think they may be the team to beat next year.
It'd be hard. I believe Cleveland. I mean, Dallas and Phoenix. You got to reload.
Yeah, but, you know, going back to the question I asked about being a dynasty, that's their 4th championship in 9 years.
It's good.
They won their first one in '99 when the strike shortened season, or actually it was the lockout. And they beat the New York Knicks minus Patrick Ewing. Then they came along, won the next one in 2003. Then they let Detroit borrow the title in 2004, and they came back in 2005, won the title then. Heat won it last year over the Mavericks, and they got it this year. I do have to classify them a dynasty for 3 reasons. Number 1, they've sustained it over a long period of time.
Yep.
Number 2, in the era of free agency, they've been able to bring in pieces to the puzzle. You bring in a Tony Parker from France, 19 years old. Now look at him.
Never heard of the kid.
Never heard of the kid. You think
Who is
all
this kid?
Right. And that's what Kobe said. And now look at him.
He's a man.
He's a man, and he's holding that trophy.
And you know, you're a good stat guy. There's another stat as I was watching the game.
What's that?
Tim Duncan has took 35 different players to the championship, and Jordan took 31. That's another record,
Wow.
NBA record. And the man is I didn't know the man is only 31 years old.
Yeah.
He look
Well,
he look older than you.
Oh, well, you know, Timmy, he party a little harder than I do. You know, I keep mine preserved. Olive Olay.
I see.
You see right there?
Sean John,
Right, you know,
Pro V.
keeping it tight. Proactive. Yep. Don't want it to show up on the TV. But 4 and 9, you just said it, 35 different players with Duncan. That shows the model of consistency that he gives.
Yes.
You put whoever next to him, he's still going to give you 24 and 12. Good on the defensive end. He's going to stay consistent. He's going to lead by example. He's not vocal. You bring in a guy like Robert Horry, championship experience, Bruce Bowen. How many guys want to play defense anymore?
Not too many.
And Bruce Bowen has decided the way to stay in the NBA, he's going to play defense.
You got to.
And look what the results
Can't
are.
shoot. I mean, every now and then.
Every now and then he gets you a bucket. Michael Finley,
got his first ring.
a.k.a. Billy Ocean. You know, you don't.
Caribbean Queen.
I knew you was gonna hit it. Sing it for the people at home, but
I can't see.
you can't.
I ain't gonna care. I
But-
can't carry 2 in a bucket.
Oh, Billy Ocean got him one after 12
That's
years.
good.
And it is good because, you know, he put up many a year in Dallas, and, you know, now he's finally culminated his career with a ring, just like last year with Peyton and Mourning and those guys.
Yeah.
So, once again, you talk about retiring. Maybe Mike Finley might want to go ahead and, you know, hang him up.
You're right.
Go out on top. But now that the finals are over, San Antonio is our champion. When's the last time we had a sweep? We're going to throw this out to the viewing audience at 384-2452. Somebody give us a call and see if they can tell us when the last sweep was in the NBA finals. I bet you can't guess it. If you do, Stat Girl gonna give you some of that good old.
Cornbread.
Whoa! Look at the phone there. They heard about Stat Girl's cornbread, and the phone rang. But we want to see if the viewing audience knows when the last sweep was in the NBA.
But you know,
Finals.
since the NBA is over with, there comes the draft.
The NBA draft in less than 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right around the corner.
June 28th.
June 28th, which is, what is that, Wednesday, Tuesday or
Tuesday
Wednesday?
and Wednesday.
Yep. And it'll be interesting to see how the draft plays out now that the playoffs have been settled. You already had your first trade. Mike James is moving from the Timberwolves to Houston in exchange for Juwan Howard. So we're going to make another trade. We're going to make a trade for this phone line, 384-2452. Caller, tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is.
Hey, this is Keenan calling from Champaign.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Not a thing.
Hey, was it Houston? Didn't Houston sweep?
Houston swept Orlando back in 94,
Right.
95.
Right,
But-
exactly.
But that wasn't the last sweep.
That wasn't the last one?
That wasn't the last one. You're going to fall in your chair when I tell you this, Dr. K. The Los Angeles Lakers over the New Jersey Nets in the 2001-2002 NBA Finals.
Oh, my goodness. I should know that. I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, see?
See?
Oh, my
You should have
goodness.
went in there and looked at your Laker encyclopedia and checked out your stats,
You're right.
you know. But anything you want to talk about other than that, Dr. K?
No, but, well, the finals to me, well, actually the whole playoffs, it played out to me like a NCAA tournament, meaning a lot of the top teams, you know, like in the tournament, how Kansas get knocked out early, all the best teams got knocked out early, and therefore Cleveland was able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Plus the Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference period is pretty weak.
Yeah.
You know, they're a pretty weak conference. So,
You're exactly right on that.
yeah.
Definitely
So
right.
that's the reason why I think LeBron made it there so easily. You know, well, not easy, because only team basically had to go through was Detroit.
Okay, all right, here's my question to you. Do you think the Detroit Pistons run of the NBA Eastern Conference Championship is over with now?
No, I still think they can make a run, but I think Detroit fell apart once they went ahead and once LeBron found out that he could actually go through the middle and take it to the hole and dunk, and they was getting out of his way. But I think if Ben Wallace would have still been there, he would have slowed that penetration down of LeBron and blocked a few more shots and stopped him. But I think that if you take the teams that actually lost games in the finals back in the 80s, even late 80s, the teams that the 90s actually that lost are better than a lot of the teams that's in the league right now, that's playing right now.
That's true.
Yeah, one of the things is
I think the NBA isn't as exciting as it was, the way it used
Yeah,
to be.
because you remember back in the 80s, you couldn't wait to get home after church and watch the Lakers and Sixers play.
Exactly.
It was like Brett Musburger's Sunday afternoon game.
hey man,
And no matter who
Showing your age.
lost in the finals, any of those teams could beat the team that won in the finals now.
That's
I mean,
true.
San Antonio was the dynasty, which, sure enough, because all the games they won, the championships they won, but if, we think back in the 80s and the 90s, those teams really were good. Even the New York team that Jordan was stopping from getting to the finals.
yeah,
It's a good team.
you're correct, Doc. Well, Doc, we appreciate you calling us, man. Sorry you didn't have your Lakers encyclopedia out tonight.
I know, I
you know.
slipped up on that.
Well, maybe we'll throw some more trivia out for you later on and see if we can stump Dr. K.
Okay.
We appreciate you calling, man.
All right, y'all
Talk to
take
you.
care.
Take care.
All right, later.
He is right, though, in terms of the quality of play. But I think what's happened, we talk about free. That's why I have to put San Antonio as a dynasty. Because of free agency, players move. You don't keep your cores long. Expansion is the other thing that's changed the league, is the number of teams you now have in the league have watered down the talent pool that you used to have. You made a comment about back in the day with the Sixers and the Lakers. guys played with a certain team until they retired.
You're right. You played the contract out.
That's it. You knew who was on that squad all the way through. But now with free agency and the contracts, guys, you might have a window of 5 to 6 years, like you just asked about Detroit.
Yep.
It all depends on a couple of things for Detroit. Number one, do they re-sign Chauncey Billups?
They should.
They should, but can they? Salary cap,
Yeah.
type of money that they've got to deal with. Chauncey's going to be commanding top dollar.
He should.
Number one. Number two, after the meltdown that Rasheed Wallace had at the end of the Eastern Conference Finals against
He's a free
Cleveland.
agent, too.
He's a free agent. He's a 12-7 man. He's a good ball player. But now you're talking about chemistry. You let Rasheed go, who do you bring in his place?
Yeah, because Brian McKnight he's getting old.
Yeah. He's definitely getting old. And then, Chris Webber.
He's old.
And does Chris Webber give you the intangibles that a Ben Wallace gave you?
No.
The answer obviously is no, because they didn't make it to the finals. So I agree. I think their run is over. Now, because their run is over, who does it open up for in the Eastern Conference?
It's wide open.
For example, Washington Wizards. Gilbert Arenas and
He wants to leave.
Caron Butler, they were both hurt. That opened the door for Cleveland. Now he wants to leave Washington. So just when that team is right at the apex of really getting over the hump to becoming a real contender,
I want to leave.
they want to leave. So I agree with the last caller.
Yeah.
Basketball is not the same as it used to be.
Because if you look at the San Antonio Spurs, they won all their championships with two superstars. They won when they had David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
Right.
The rest of them were role players.
Exactly.
Sean Elliott, Steve Kerr. I mean, they named a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, it happens. They're a good team, and they might be. They can do it again next year if they keep all their pieces together.
Now, the final thing on the NBA, we were talking earlier about the draft coming up. Portland, number 1 pick. Who do you take if you're Portland? Greg Oden, Kevin Durant.
I take Joe Stovall.
Well, you take me, you're going to get a complete ball player. Understand that. I will carry bags better than anybody. I'm telling you, you ask for a drink, woo.
You wouldn't have to ask for it.
It's,
I didn't ask for that.
hey, I knew you was thinking about it. When I saw your sweat beading up right here, I hooked you up. So,
Portland. If number 1 pick. All right, they got Brendan Roy, rookie of the year. Mm-hmm. They got
Aldridge,
yep.
they picked up in the trade with the Bulls when Tyrese Thomas went to Chicago.
They got Zach Randolph.
Zach Randolph.
Big man in the middle.
You got a 4 who can really, but look at that baseline. If you can re-sign Zach Randolph, you got Aldridge,
I'd take Durant.
and you're going to take Durant.
Yeah.
And so you're going to make Aldridge your 5, Randolph your 4, and Durant your 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary baseline. But then think about if you put Oden in as your 5, you've got Randolph as your scorer. Now, as a 3, it'd be tough for him to defend, but you got Randolph, Aldridge, and Oden. That's no joke for Portland.
It's true. It'd be interesting.
It will be, but like you said, June 28th, NBA draft, Madison Square Garden, the culmination of the NBA season. We can put a lid on it. Pew! It's
Right.
done. And now we got to move on to baseball.
Playing some
Baseball! Woo! Yep, Major League Baseball, 2 months, full swing.
100 games to go.
There you go. And who's hot? Now, last week I started arguing with my buddy, Sergeant Rock. Who's hot now? The Chicago Cubs.
Why are they hot?
Why are they hot? They're hot because of Alfonso Soriano, number
Yes.
1. Alfonso is blazing it as the leadoff hitter. Number 2, their middle relief and the relief pitching is finally picked up this week. Cubs have won.
Dempster gave the game up the other day.
He gave up the game the other day, but they're 4-1 this week, 7-3 in their last
All right,
10. Come on.
You're a stat man. I'm going to give it to you.
And I'm right, and the stats don't lie.
That's true.
know.
They do lie, though, sometimes.
What happened today?
They won.
Cubs 4, Padres 1, David Well Not David Wells, because he looked like an old humpback whale out there today.
He should retire too.
Yeah, he should. He was overheating on the mound, and the Cubs went to work. The Cubs are starting to move up in the standings, only 5 behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Who's right behind the Cubs? Cardinals. Cardinals gave up more runs last night than some old pantyhose. 17 Kansas City put on the board.
I turned to the game. I thought it was a football score.
You thought it was the Chiefs
It
playing
was
the Rams.
17-7.
Exactly.
I'm like, wow.
Mark Bulger, what's wrong?
2 touchdowns, a field goal.
Cardinals, they looked too hot last night, boy. Yeah. Kansas
Speaking
City.
of that, I mean, that's, give kudos to Detroit. They threw a no-hitter against the Milwaukee Brewers.
And that's what us Cub fans need. More ball playing like that from their opponents. The Brewers right now are,
But what happened afterwards, Joe?
hey, we're not talking about that.
Milwaukee beat them.
Stay positive with me, man. We got to stay focused.
Hey, I'm the Mets. Mets are 1-9.
Yeah. Met fan sitting right here. I'm going to point at him, camera. Can y'all see him?
1-9.
He's a Met fan. And the Mets are 1-9 in their last 10. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row.
We're still in first place.
You're still in first place, but it's the June swoon, as they like to call it.
Pedro being. We're playing the Yankees now.
Well, the Stankies are
hot,
coming back
too.
around. Stankies have won 9 in a row.
But it's hard to catch a team ahead.
It is, but the Yankees are 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 9 in a row. And them bats,
They're cool off.
you think so?
Yeah, it ain't,
You know,
Is that A-Rod's team or Jeter's team?
that's Jeter's team. I put that out there right now. That's Derek Jeter. A-Rod can hit 75 home runs. That's still Derek Jeter's team.
I don't know.
You know who Derek Jeter is?
Yeah, Mr. New York.
That's right. Derek Jeter go out with a blonde stripper. He ain't in the tabloids. Alex Rodriguez, you find out how much juice you got when you go out and they put you on the paper like that.
Front page, too.
Right. So Alex found out he's second fiddle. Jeter could go out with J-Lo and Mariah Carey and
RuPaul.
Right. And you know what they say?
He's having fun.
Fun. That's it. They put a positive spin on it. He's Mr. New York.
You're right.
That's how you find out where your standing is in the city, especially with the media. So, with that being said, like I said, the Mets, National League East.
But we have some interesting interleague play this weekend. We got Mr. Bonds going to Boston. Kurt Schilling
Green Monster.
pitching.
And Mr. Kurt Schilling likes to talk.
Because they got this short porch in right field. So
My question is,
he
no,
can break the record this weekend.
it
It ain't but 206.
I was going to say, that's a Little League diamond they got in Fenway. They need another Green Monster in right field as opposed to left field. But my question is this, and I want to hear from you at 384-2452, because Stat Girl has a 5-call minimum tonight. She got 2 in the first half hour. Let's see if she closes out strong or if she's going to be out there. If we're going to have to burn the left hand, we had to burn the right hand on the hot phone last week. So we'll burn that left hand if we have to, because here, tell it like it is, ain't no union rules.
No.
Nope. We don't believe in them.
No collective bargaining
Nope.
agreements.
And no workers' compensation.
None whatsoever.
So she just take that hand, put it in a bucket of ice.
And keep going.
That's it. This is like the old NFL.
You're right.
There's a difference between being injured and being hurt.
You're right. Injured players play.
That's-
Hurt players go home.
And she's just injured. That's why she's here tonight. But Barry Bonds, he went yard 748 right now?
Yep.
So he's only 7 away from tying Hank
Long road.
and 8 from breaking the record. Now, last week I talked about the fact that now he's hit 9 at home and 4 on the road. He's got 13 total this year. But he only hit 4 home runs in the month of May. You know, my question is, you know, is he breaking down physically? Is that what's happening with
I
Bonds?
believe so. I mean, if you look at the highlights this week, a couple fly balls and all, but I mean, he looked like Dollar Bill playing left center.
Wow. That's bad. That's really bad.
I mean, he just don't have it anymore. I mean, I like to see him. He'll probably DH this weekend. They be in the American League Park.
Think so?
Yeah, I would if they want to win.
Yeah, I agree. Because the other thing, well,
Because everybody can't play off that monster. Manny's good at playing off the monster. You know, he'll go back. You know, he'll stop, turn around.
Ricochet Rabbit.
Here he come.
Bing, bing, bing.
You think you got a triple, he held you to a double.
Right.
Or a long single.
And he tipping his hat to the crowd. Good job, Manny.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so Bonds is working his way back to getting that record that we were looking for to be broken this month. But like I said, he's got 8 to go to break it.
Hey, he'll be in Chicago soon. Get some tickets.
We'll see if we can get some tickets and see if that wind's blowing out. You know.
You stand on Waveland Avenue.
Yeah, well, you know.
You better stand there with an armor suit on, though.
There you go, because you catch one of them balls,
You're going to pay for it.
few people going to be jumping on your back.
Especially if it's 755.
So Major League Baseball is now heated up. Like I said, you got the first 2 months down. We're into the month of June. We're really rolling right now. Red Sox, best team in baseball, 41-24. And the Los Angeles Angels are also right there. Now, Cleveland Indians, City
Dangerous
Cleveland,
team.
yeah, they're 39-26, leading the American League Central. White Sox,
Sergeant Rock's division.
yeah, because
White Sox. White Sox going to do it.
White Sox 10.5 out.
And fading fast.
Yeah. Ozzy,
Gone.
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Right.
He's gone. They're not gonna put up with the antics anymore. The moves that they made, Kenny Williams I think is only gonna be on a hot seat too,
Yeah.
because he gave up on Freddie Garcia and Aaron Rowland,
Yep.
and now look what's happened to the Sox. Just 2 years removed from World Series champs. Now they're second to last. So it makes you wonder what's going on up there on the south side.
Right off. The Dan Ryan.
Dan Ryan, right. And they getting treated like a Robert Taylor Holmes. They getting torn down.
Right.
And they're going to have to fix that. But close out on baseball, like we said, Cubs are 5 out. The key for the Cubs is to get back to 500 and above at home. There are only 3 games under 500 at home right now. They got 2 more games in the set with San Diego this weekend. Zambrano's on the mound tomorrow. And then you've got, I think Rich Hill's going on Sunday.
Who they playing?
They're playing San Diego, and Greg Maddux will be on the mound Sunday for the
Coming home, huh?
Coming home. So that'll be an interesting game to watch on Father's Day. Remember your dads. Give them a big hug. Don't give them no ties that light up and no flashing sun visor or nothing like that. Understand that? I see you already. You done went shopping, haven't you?
Yeah, she went to Spencer's.
How come on Mother's Day, the mothers get flowers and candy and dinners and perfume and just get
Bath and Body Works.
right?
It smells good. And we get,
Weed eater.
yeah, or a lawnmower, some socks.
Right. Boy, they just show you the
Or
love and respect that daddy's
Or
getting.
some underwear, not boxers briefs.
Some tighty whitey. Here you go, Dad. And ain't even your size. Like, man, I will die if I put these on.
Sure will.
Cut my circulation off. Well, moving on, even though it's June, you hear, wait a minute. You hear that? Listen.
Sound like a football.
That's the crack of pads.
Yeah.
The NFL
Coming up.
is coming around the corner. A lot of activities happening right now in the NFL.
The main one is Mr. Pac-Man going to drop his appeal.
Pac-Man Jones went to the principal's office the other day, and the principal said, man, if you come in here one more time talking about you appealing what I done told you,
Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. Mr. Stovall, I'm going to go work on my cases and see if I can get a 10-game suspension.
yeah, you do that. Because you come in here talking about you appealing my 1-year suspension, I might kick you out of here and you'll be playing in the AFL. And I'm not talking about the old AFL. I'm talking about the Arena Football League.
He probably would go there.
Yeah, NFL news, Pac-Man Jones, like Bundy said, dropped his appeal. So now it looks like he'll sit out at least 16 games, possibly 10, based on good behavior and also based on this case that's pending out there in Las Vegas. Right now, the police have turned over the case to the prosecutor, but they're having trouble getting witnesses to talk. Wonder why.
The DNA didn't match up either on one of the victims they said he hit.
That was the victim that allegedly he bit on the ankle inside the strip club. How you get DNA off of socks? And anyway,
Hey, I watch a whole lot of CSI. They get DNA off anything now.
Oh, man, that's TV, man. Don't ever believe anything you see on TV. Oh, that's us.
That's right.
That's what we do. Oh, sorry. Anyway, Pac-Man Jones, but you know who's another brother in a little problem area? Dante Culpepper.
Man, they are treating him like a burnt bologna sandwich.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I don't want it either.
Well, what we gonna do with it? Just let it sit over there.
This man asked to be traded. He won't out his contract. He said, just release me. Let me go do what I need to do.
Right.
They said, nope.
You're gonna sit here in the weight room.
You're right.
Now, the Players Association has filed a grievance on behalf of Culpepper, but to me, the key to this whole situation, Dante is his own agent. It doesn't work today, people. You can't separate the business side and the personal side. How is the GM going to look at Dante when he comes in and he says, I'm Dante the agent, not the player? No, you're the same person.
Like, yes.
You look like Dante that would,
Who was you?
I'm Dante Culpepper's agent.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Whoop, whoop. Now I'm Dante Culpepper, the quarterback. Ain't you the same dude?
No.
That's how they treating him.
Hey, but I mean, teach his own.
And teach his own whenever.
That's it. They keep him getting the agent fat wallets.
But by trying to protect that 3 to 5% commission that his agent gets, look at the situation Dante's in.
Yeah.
He's gone from one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, runner up to Peyton Manning in 2004. 2005, he shredded his knee playing for the Vikings. He went in, he had a 10-year, $102 million contract. That's one thing that a lot of people forget. And went
That
in.
don't mean nothing in the NFL.
Well, I agree, but
that's like $2 now.
his base salary is $5 million. He went in January of 2006 to renegotiate his contract. And what happened? The Vikings traded him to Miami. And this was why he was rehabbing his knee. He comes back on the field 2006, first 4 games, sacked 21 times in 4 games. Mobility is a big part of his game.
Like the Champagne Jaguars.
And set him down in place of Joey Harrington. Took over. The lowly quarterback from the Detroit Lions. Joey Harrington's not even on the Dolphins. They cut him loose.
Yeah, they did.
The Dolphins then go out and make the trade for Trent Green, the 36-year-old concussed quarterback from Kansas City. Now Dante, they treating him like Tennessee treated Steve McNair a year ago.
Yeah, but Dante, I mean, he has a whole lot to prove. He got a bad knee. They say his arm is shot. But
Small hands.
Yeah.
Small feet.
How you have small hands, small feet, you 6'8", 300 pounds?
That's called Dr. Frankenstein didn't have enough parts when he was putting you together.
Well, he should have went out and borrowed some parts.
Come check me out at the Foot Locker, Dante. I'll hook you up.
You're right. He got 2 for 1.
There you go. 2 feet for 1. But now, other NFL news. Brett Favre. Green Bay Packer fans, I know y'all love Brett Favre, but last time he was league MVP was 1997. That was 10 years ago. He's got to get out of there if that franchise is going to move any
True.
He's thrown 47 interceptions in the past 2 years. He leads the league.
He's not a fantasy league player.
He is not even a fantasy league. he ain't a Sandlot player anymore. I know there's a lot of Packer fans out there saying, oh, no, but Brett Favre. Hey, it's just like when Dan Marino was down there in Miami. No disrespect to the Hall of Fame career that Brett Favre has had, but he's handcuffed and basically holding the Packer organization hostage.
Yes, he is.
They can't move forward until he gets out of there.
You're right.
And the reason why I bring that up, that's where Dante should go.
Okay, here's my question to you, Joe. Who's going to tell Brett Favre he's not going to play Green Bay anymore? What are you going to do, is email him or send him a letter?
You know, well, they can change the locks. You know how when they get on the back of those kids' bikes when they ride up in training camp?
Yeah.
Have one kid that, Brett get on his bike and he ride the other way.
Where you going? doing?
They told me to take you down the street. We take you down to Big Al's Greasy Spoon. Somebody gonna meet you in the booth, and that's when they give him his walking paper. But I know Brett Favre. He's been a great quarterback for a number of years. I know he's had some family tragedies lately. Lost his dad and brother-in-law, but
Well, Coach, when you gonna bench him?
not bench him. You got to let him go at either. This ought to be a swan song. This ought to be the retirement year where he goes through and he gets his rocking chairs and comforters and somebody give him the RV and, you know.
Nice gifts.
Yeah, but hey, he's earned it. But after that, he's got to move on.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the Packers not backers. They got a good quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, should be. I hope he's learning the system.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Are you going to wait as a Green Bay fan for Aaron Rodgers to come in and learn the system and get out and throw him to the wolves? Or are you going to bring in an experienced
last year
veteran?
they had a whole lot of bad luck. I mean, yeah, they had players dropping like Jim Jones did in Guyana.
Yeah, drink the Kool-Aid.
I mean, Amon Green get hurt, and they down to.
Sam Congato.
I mean, receivers. I mean, they going out and say, "Hey, can you catch a football?"
Uh-huh.
Well, come on out to practice.
For who?
Packers. We'll sign you up. Give you a 10-day contract. Get out there and get blasted.
Right. Get him killed.
I caught it.
And then you know how Brett throw it.
Oh, yeah. Either catch it or wear it.
I don't know. But other NFL news, the Bears, Alex Brown wants to go.
What? Why is everybody want to leave now? You was on the brink of winning the Vince Lombardi Trophy. You saw it. You held it for the commercial.
That's all.
You held it. You had it. I had it in my hand.
Cut. Commercial's done. We will put that back in the case, son. Yeah, Alex Brown, the defensive end for the Chicago Bears. Now that Mark Anderson had 12 sacks last year.
Yeah.
Alex Brown is expendable. NFL, we just talked earlier about
Mr.
money.
Briggs want to leave too.
Yeah.
Tank Johnson, he's tanked.
Yep. Ian Scott, the backup defensive tackles, now a Philadelphia Eagle. You know, the question for the Bears fans out there, Thomas the Tank Engine Jones is gone. Now you're running game on Cedric Benson, who basically straight bailed on the Bears in the Super Bowl. Because you're in the Super Bowl, they should have to carry you off the field. He walked off the field in the first quarter. And now you're going to base it.
He was hurt.
He wasn't hurt. Did he have surgery?
No.
He was injured. He was like Stat Girl. Stat Girl burned her hand up on the hot phone, and she's still here. Cedric Benson should have been there. So on the offensive side, you got Benson. You're coming back with Rex Grossman.
He was a hot quarterback.
For 6 weeks. He was hot for 6 weeks. That's a lot of things people forgetting. He was the best quarterback in the NFL for 6
He was in your
weeks.
fantasy league, wasn't he?
After that 6 week, that's when I picked him up. Boy, was I dumb.
Who'd you give up?
I'm not even going to talk about that right now. All I know is that I made the biggest mistake of my fantasy coaching career. But you got Grossman coming back. On the defensive side, like you said, Lance Briggs, he wants out. He will be gone. Alex Brown. You got Tommy Harris coming back from hamstring surgery, not an injury, surgery. That thing was shredded off the bone. Lance Briggs, if you lose him, how does that affect Brian Urlacher? As great as he is, he needs somebody on his wing. He needs his wingman.
That's true.
The Bears secondary, Mike Brown, often injured. I mean, I'm looking at, you know, the thing that's saving the Bears is NFC Central, NFC North, weak division.
Yeah, it is.
Real weak division. You know, but
It happens.
it happens, and we will see. Because, like I said, training camp starts next month. You're only about 30 days away from the first training camp opening up. NFL season will be ready
That is so true.
to rock and roll. Now, the PGA,
U.S. Open.
U.S. Open's going on right now.
What a golf course. They have grass there that the city inspector would condemn property.
Here's your notice.
Notice for what?
You get this grass cut, it's $250 fine.
Yeah, it's cut.
What do you mean it's cut? I think I saw a tiger come running out of there.
Man, they said they removed over 5,000 trees in the last 12 years.
Well, you know what?
It's wide open course.
The one thing I'm enjoying about the U.S. Open, every golfer looks like me now.
Hey, I'm telling you,
They're just hacking.
you're right.
Phil Mickelson, the great lefty,
He's gone.
bye-bye. 11 over. And guess what the cut was?
10.
The cut line was 10. And Mickelson couldn't make it in this weekend.
Mike Small, local U of I golf coach, 19 over.
Wow.
That sounds like me and you're round the golf.
In the front nine.
You're right.
You know, now if I had you on the putt-putt course,
Tear me up.
oh, man.
You par better.
Man, the clown's mouth, bing. I get it through the...
Those guys are missing putts this close.
Well, I mean,
They miss them. They miss a foot putt, and it becomes a 5-foot comeback.
right. And then next you know, you go from a potential birdie to a double bogey. You 4 and 5 putt.
What you get on that hole? A 7.
Snowman.
8.
Put it on your card, jump in the cart,
Let's go.
roll
Next
on.
hole.
You know, another hole we got to fill is Stat Girl's hole. 384-2452. Give us a call. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. This is the late night version of Tell It Like It Is.
Late
Late night. We had a little governmental business going on here, but we're doing this like Playboy Mansion at the Grotto. So, you know, give us a call. Big Bun's going to put his smoking jacket on, and we'll go on down and
Put my wig on.
get your Hugh Hefner wig
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Get your pipe.
Get them Cialises.
Pop a
Every
whole
6
bunch
hours.
Well, let's see what this caller's talking about. Caller, tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is.
This is Chris.
What's going on, Chris?
I got a question about Illinois football. Kyle Yelton being the punter and return as a starter, and last year's season he was under par. So, who's going to be the new starting punter, and what do you think about Kyle Yelton?
Yelton, number one, was a true freshman kicking last year for Illinois. He did have his difficulties. Now, you got to remember when he came out of high school, he was one of the most sought-after punters in the nation that we brought in here. His transition from high school to college didn't go as well as some expected. However, with a year under his belt, the team having another year under their belt with the system, I think he's going to be back on the field. You look for better things from Kyle Yelton. The other thing that you got to remember is that the kicking game was so important last year because we had so many 3-and-outs on offense. You're not going to see that much of that this year. Therefore, you won't see the kick team on the field as much. There won't be as much pressure on Kyle Yelton to produce. Therefore, he's going to have a better year.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Appreciate your call. Tell it like it is. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Stat Girl, boy,
She's running.
look at her trying to earn her keep last 10 minutes of the show.
You're right.
Chris, appreciate you calling Tell It Like It Is. Anybody else sitting out there want to hit me and Bun, got questions about sports, give us a call, 384-2452. And just as I said that, somebody else hit us, call us, tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from, tell it like it is.
Double A, man. Campaign, you know where I'm at.
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Double A?
Not too much. How you guys doing today?
All righty.
Good, good. One question, man. Talking about football, there's been a lot of problems with the Bengals, but off the field this year, they got them picked to finish number one in their division. I think my Steelers is going to come through with the new coach, kind of a new look. Just want to know what you guys' thoughts are on that.
I'll let you
Come on,
start.
don't get silent now.
Well, it's depending on how Big Ben's comeback is. Because last year he had a rough year because he found out how a motorcycle stops when a car is in front of him. And, I mean, you got a new system. I think you're going to go through some hard times this year because you got a new coach, new system. You got to get adjusted to it because everything was Bill Cowher's way. And that's the way it is. So now he was there for forever. Then you got a new coach come in. He's laid back, easy going. I mean, it could be a good run for Pittsburgh, but I think the Bengals, offensive-wise, will be a better team than Pittsburgh.
I think that the key for Pittsburgh, though, is the running game. I think last year was a transition with Willie Parker taking over for Jerome Bettis. But I think if the Steelers get another bona fide running back there and Mike Tomlin coming in as the head coach, they'll be even more aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. I actually think the Steelers is going to be between the Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North in terms of that. I don't think Cincinnati has enough on the defensive side of the ball.
Ocho Cinco?
Ocho Cinco is on the offensive side. They don't have enough defense.
Defense don't win ball games all the time either.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen. Double A, I'm going to roll with you there. The black and gold coming out to AFC North. Appreciate you hitting us on Tell It Like It Is. UPTV 6.
All right.
Take care. Yeah, now, I'm not a Steelers fan, but when you look at that division with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati,
Cleveland could.
Cleveland still rebuilding. Still rebuilding.
That girl is running.
Stat Girl is running because she hit her 5 call minimum. Call us. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is.
How you doing, fellas, man? My name is JB.
What's going on?
Not too much, man. My question is, I wanted to know about Illinois prospect Sean Livingston. You know, now that, he had his knee injury, which was pretty bad. You know, a lot of people say he might not come back. But I feel like, since he came straight, he do got a little time left. He do got the extra 4 years that a lot of players wouldn't get. And I just wanted to hear you guys, I want to get y'all point of view, get y'all to elaborate on that a little bit.
You said Sean Livingston?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that was probably one of the most devastating knee injuries that I've seen, on a basketball court. Yes. We talked earlier about the knee injury that Dante Culpepper had playing football a couple of years ago.
Right.
On the positive side for Livingston, he's young. He's going to have time to rehab. But I actually believe it's going to take between 18 to 24 months for him to come back to full strength and be able to play at the level that he was actually getting to. He was actually starting to become a very promising player in the NBA before that injury happened. So the good thing on his side is his youth. Hopefully on the mental side, this won't affect him watching guys who came in with him to advance their careers while he's still rehabbing. But I hope and I pray that good things happen for him because he had a promising career in front of him, and hopefully he can get that back.
Right, because I did look at a list of what was all wrong with his knee, and he had like a torn MCL, a torn ACL, a torn PCL, and a torn meniscus, a shattered kneecap. The list just goes on, and it's a lot of players like Willis McGahee who had nothing but just a torn MCL, and we see how hard it was for him to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Something simple like that.
Yeah, so
that's a good football injury. Sound like?
Yeah, that is. So Chris, I'm hoping the best for him because, like you said, he had a promising career in front of him, and we'll continue to watch his progress. And you give us a hit anytime here on Tell It Like It Is.
All right, fellas, y'all have a good evening.
You too. Stat Girl pushing them buttons, boy. We can't even talk about the U.S. Open, boy. She pushing these buttons. We're going to get to the U.S. Open and talk a little bit more about what Tiger and the rest of the gang's doing out there. But we're going to go back to the phone lines, keep them rolling.
Keep going.
384-2452, Tell It Like It Is. Caller, go ahead.
What's up, guys? Hey, I was just wondering, who do you guys think we're going to get in the class of 08 for basketball?
Well, right now, a couple of guys they're looking at, Scott Suggs out of Washington, Missouri. Is a 6'6", 6'7", smooth as silk point guard that Illinois is looking at. Got a couple other prospects out of Chicago that they've been looking at. Verdell Jones here locally. They've been looking at him along with Lewis Jackson out of Decatur. I think Illinois is going to have 3 scholarships available. The key is they've got to get a wingman. They got to get somebody to come in because, Brian Randall is going into his senior year, so they're going to need somebody to come in and replace Randall.
Maybe Matt Humphrey?
Matt Humphrey is another player that Illinois is looking at closely. They've got about 8 guys on their radar. Humphreys, as I said earlier about Suggs, I really like Suggs. Man, I got to see him play. Got to see him play up close and personal. And if Illinois comes here, you will love him. He is smooth as silk, perfect medium range game. I'm telling you, Illinois fans are loving. And I think if they get those guys to come in here, Humphrey, Suggs, and either Jackson or Jones, Illinois is going to be back on their way to prominence in the NCAA.
Yeah, Suggs was pretty impressive at the U of I shootout.
There you go. We appreciate you calling. Tell it like it is. Take care. We got about 4 minutes left in the Stack Girl still pushing buttons.
I was pushing them.
Me and Big Bun still sitting
She
here.
wore a hole in the carpet.
Yeah, shit. You know, we need to get us some flats.
You're right.
I know it's a little difficult trying to move back and forth like that.
You're right.
Go ahead, caller. Tell it like it is.
All right. Well, I got a question about high school football.
Okay.
And the Champaign Centennial Chargers. Now, you got to remember the 2004 season with Matt Briskin as the star middle linebacker. But who is going to stand out this year? Because they got that big recruit who got around 20 offers and I believe committed here. Do you think that the Centennial Chargers have a chance of having a dream season like 2004 with Matt Briskin leading the charge?
I think they'll do with Mikael LaShore in the backfield. The Centennial Chargers have a great opportunity to repeat what they did in 2004 with Matt Briskin back there leading the way on the defensive side. Mikael has got several Division I offers sitting out there right now.
A whole lot.
He hasn't made any commitments because he's really working hard. I mean, he put some great stats on the board last year, and I'm looking for him to put at least 2,500 on the board.
Oh, man, that's a lot.
You know, well, that's a lot, but you should have seen the way he closed out the season when he went up there, what was it, Oak Forest?
Yes.
And put 300 on them in the rain. And that was his junior season. He can only have a better senior season. We're looking for him to at least break 2,000. I'm looking for him to do 2,500 myself.
Are you a Charger or a Maroon?
Well, you got to realize that Normal West is a big rivalry. In 2004, we beat them to win the Team of the Week. And if we win it this year, I think that'll be really big for the morale.
Well, I hopefully they'll do. Sorry, we're pressing for time. We're going to have to let you go. But we'll see if we can look up some of them old Matt Briskin tapes, and maybe we can run them next time on Tell It Like It Is.
All right.
Take care, man.
Have a good one.
Stat Girl, we're going to get you some roller skates.
Oh,
You know,
some Heelys.
It's right, some Heelys, so you just pop them down and just. Because she was rolling back and forth from them phones.
Hey, she made the minimum.
Now, before. Made more than a minimum. Now, you know what? If this would have been last week, you wouldn't have had to put your hand on the hot phone. I'm sorry, Stat Girl. But, you know, last week on Tell It Like It Is, you know, as I told everybody, we tackle tough subjects here. Just like Matt Briskin playing middle linebacker for the Centennial Chargers. The subject matter is, just like I talked about last week, you know, back in your comic book days, with Superman beat Batman, or with the Flash beat Green Hornet, and
Wow.
you know how you really sit back as a kid and think about, man, who would win this fight? Last week we said who would win in a fight between Serena and Layla. So tonight, to wrap up tonight's show, my question is, if Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson got in a fight, who would win?
I had to give it to Tiger because they said Tiger bench press over 400 pounds.
Yeah, Tiger is ripped, ain't he?
Yes.
But you know what the thing is? Mickelson,
He's soft.
Right.
He's like a marshmallow. He's like,
But he's a left-handed marshmallow.
well,
And you know, just like in boxing, you know,
licking his lip.
And Tiger might go in
He needs some
overconfident.
chapstick. He needs chapstick.
Yeah, but see what I'm saying though is Tiger might go in a little overconfident, thinking,
Man,
"Oh, look at that
don't
marshmallow."
care. I don't care.
You think Tiger get
Man,
it?
he can go in there and be 500 pounds and smoking cigarettes and drinking a beer
And you'll beat
getting a
lefty.
shot and beat the lefty.
Well, you know what? We're beating. We're beating at the clock. We appreciate everybody who called in tonight on the late night version of Tell It Like It Is.
Before we let it go,
Jason, great job tonight. Stat Girl, maybe next time we want to burn your hand.
we got to move the minimum up.
We'll move the minimum up.
7.
Well, like I said, it was 10 last week. We dropped it to 5.
We'll go to
'cause
7.
I'm telling you, the smell of burning flesh just
It stinks.
It does. And I just hate to hear a woman cry when you're holding her hand on a hot phone because she didn't do her job and make her minimum.
And you starting to smell like burnt corn.
You know what?
You need some Tootsie.
I'm glad the credits are rolling because I can't respond to that.